Welcome. This is the podcast by Wake the Farm Up called Maintaining Ground. And I am your host, Ande the Elf. In this podcast experiment, I'll be talking with old friends, new friends, and a whole variety of people who are very inspiring, intriguing, and have their own opinion about the world to share and incredible stories. So I hope you enjoy this experiment. Right, so welcome everyone. I know it's been a little bit. We had a little bit of time go by where we didn't make some episodes, but you know, that happens. This is another episode for the kids. This is episode number 15. Today we'll be interviewing Dirk Shack. Dirk is well versed in sheltering and has a lot of things he'll share with us about natural building and shelters and things of like that sort. So let's get on with the show. Like I said, this is an episode you can let your children listen to. You want to make sure they know how to be sheltered on their own. All right, welcome everyone. This is Dirk Shack. Say hey, Dirk.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Dirk Shack.
Nice to see you, Dirk. You sound pretty excited today.
Hey, just to top it off, I'm here to seal the deal. I'm coming to come down here. I'm going to make you a whole bunch of fun time here. We're going to talk about shelters, right?
Yep, that's right. All right, so everyone, Dirk's excited to talk to you guys today about this stuff. So, Dirk, what are some of the things that you want to start talking about?
Well, I just want you to know that over-sheltered children are restrained from exploring and understanding an external world freely, and often due to parents' anxiety and apprehensions.
Wow. I don't know if you caught that, but he said that really fast. Can you slow it down, Dirk?
Sure thing. I'm Dirk Shack. I lived in a shack when I was a child. Now, I'm all grown up. I build shelters, and I teach people how to build shelters, too.
All right, so what's one of your favorite shelters to build?
My favorite? I don't know about that. I got all kinds of favorites. But I'll start out. Let's talk about the three little pigs.
Little pig, let me in.
All right, let's see here. So, you want to talk about the three little pigs?
Yeah, so first we'll talk about the one that lived in a straw house. Everybody talks about how the wolf came and blew his house down and it just went away and it was gone.
Yeah, that's how the story goes. Because, I mean, if you made a house out of straw, wouldn't it just blow away?
Not if you do it right. So, this little pig, he actually did it right if he went and learned from me, Dirk Shack, because I teach him how to do this. So, what I do is you set them in bales, so you still leave the twine around it, and it holds the bales real tight. As it holds tight, then you can stack them up just like bricks. And you're talking about a wall that's like 1.5 feet thick. Now, if you cover that all up with some mud, you'll have a nice insulated house. In the summer, when it's hot outside, you can go inside and it'll be cool. In the winter, when you go out inside and you make a fire in the fireplace, you're gonna be so warm. You might not even need to be like making a fire. You might even just need to light a candle. It depends on how big you make your house. You know, we're talking about making houses for kids. So, speaking of that, hush little puppy. Speaking of that, I wanted to tell you something about this. Like, if you go on the internet and you look up natural shelter for kids, oh my lord, the pictures that come up. It's like they want to put people into a pile of sticks out in the middle of the woods. And it says that's supposed to be some kind of good activity, you know? Like, you're going to just let your kid go out in the woods and live in a pile of sticks. So that brings me to the second little pig. If you're going to make your house out of sticks, then you got to really think about what you're doing there. What kind of sticks they are.
Oh, wow. Okay. So let's slow down here just for another little minute. So if you're going to build a house out of sticks, like the second little pig did, and somehow that wolf did blow it away in that story, the idea that you're talking about is that you want to know what kind of sticks you're using?
Yeah, see, if you look at it on the internet, there'll be pictures of these kids collecting sticks that are rotten and have mushrooms growing on them, and they'll stack them up. Maybe throw some leaves on top, which is fun, but that'll last about 2 days, and then you'll get cold in there, you'll get wet, because the water will come through anyway. You got a lot to do more than that, okay? You're gonna have to, like, select some sticks that are good. It's better to pick the ones that are actually still alive, because they're not rotten yet, and they don't have mushrooms growing out of them.
Well, some mushrooms are actually kind of cool, but I guess, yeah, you don't want that coming out of your house.
No, that's right. So what you want to do is maybe, like, if you were going to put some sticks that are in the ground, you might want to use something like black locust or cedar, you know, the things that won't rot so fast. I mean, black locust, it doesn't rot. I've seen fence posts out in the elements that last over 100 years, and they're still fine. So they definitely should last a kid long enough until they're old enough to buy a house.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I think that would last long enough, you know, if a kid doesn't grow up by the time they're 100, then I don't know if they're ever going to.
Well, some people don't ever grow up and they don't ever know how to make a house. Some of them just sleep underneath the bridge that somebody else built.
Yeah, they sure do. That's one way to get sheltered, I guess.
So with the stick house, you do a thing called wattle. You weave the sticks together. So if they're still alive, it's going to be a lot more easy to weave them together. Because if you use sticks that aren't alive anymore, it's a lot easier for them to snap. And after you do that with the wattle walls, then you do the same thing you would do with the straw bale wall. You would cover it with some mud. And they actually call that mud cob. And you mix up a mix of clay with some different sand and straw and different layers. You can look that up and get all the details. We don't have that much time to go into it on this podcast, but I'll tell you what, you just pack that on there and it looks real pretty, and you do a slip over top of it. You can make that slip whatever color clay you got. If you got blue clay or white clay or a darker brown clay, you can do that and put it all right on top of it. It's real nice. I do that and then I put it all over myself too, and then I wash off, and then I don't have any zits.
That's pretty cool. So it's a nice, like, skin thing as well as, like, what you're building.
Yeah, I want to make sure these kids can be sheltered, so I want them to look this up and be able to do this, okay?
Yeah, it's good. There's a lot of information there, but you jammed it all pretty tightly in that little bit of moment there.
Yeah, that's right. And then I also think that thatched roofs are pretty fun to make, but you want to make sure it's at a 45-degree angle. That's right, 45 degree.
Wow, that sounds kind of cold.
No, not degree, like the temperature. Come on.
What do you mean then? Like 45 degrees? You know, like that's, like, is that Fahrenheit?
No, it's 45 degrees, like on a protractor, you know, when you're measuring an angle.
Oh, okay.
So if it's at that angle, then the water will be able to run off. It won't seep into the thatch, and then it'll be able to shed the water, and you'll stay dry inside.
Oh, okay. That sounds pretty fun. I think I might have to try building something like that. Actually, I am. Right now, I've been in the backyard of my home building a small thatched little structure, and it's been quite a blast. You know, the kids and I have collected enough thatch now just from ornamental grasses that grow in the community that people want to cut off their yard every year, and most of the time they just throw it back on the back hill behind their house, or you know, they toss it off into the woods somewhere. Some people I know, they chop it up and put it back into their gardens, but some people I've even seen put it into garbage cans, which I found pretty crazy.
Yeah, so what you can do is you can just like offer to your neighbor, like, hey, I'd cut that out for you. I want to build a little shelter because I need a shelter, and I want to put it in the back and create my own little thatched roof. So kids, go look that up.
Yeah, go look up thatched roofs, kids. There's not too many thatched roofers in this part of the world or in the world left anymore. It seems like people might be afraid of that.
Well, a thatched roof that's done right could last 50, 60 years, you know, before you have to replace it. And when you do replace it, you can take it right off that roof, put it right in your garden, put a brand new roof right on, made from your garden, and there's nothing like crazy about it. There ain't no asphalt.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I love that kind of concept.
So now move along with the little pigs. We got the one that lived in a stone house. That's right, he lived in a little stone house, and there's different ways to make stone houses, but one of the simple ways that kids can start out is doing a dry stack stone house. And if you do it just right, you could even make it like a clatchin.
What's a clatchin?
A clatchin is like, you know, those beehive huts. You might have seen them in Star Wars, but they're actually real. They're from the Bronze Age in Ireland, where it's nothing but racks stacked on top of each other in a certain way that when the rain comes, it washes up and you're dry inside. And you're cozy. There ain't no problem.
Wow. A clatchin. That's nice. I have seen those in Star Wars. I don't know if I realized that they were real or not, but hey, everything makes sense and it's real to me. I think that I would enjoy actually building one of those if I had enough rocks around.
Sure helps if the rocks are nice size and they're flat, so you can actually stack them. But some houses now that, you know, you can buy even have stone roofing on it still, made out of slate. Slate roof's nice and flat, and it'll last a long time. And it's just rocks. It's made out of rocks, out of the ground.
That's pretty cool. So you really are pretty into this shelter thing.
Yeah, I want to make sure all three pigs can live out their whole life in the house that they want. I even help wolves build houses too, so they don't have to go and knock over pig houses.
Well, do you think the wolves want to knock the houses over, or do you think that they want to eat the pigs?
I think it's both. It's part of it, you know, like, it's fun to go find someone that didn't know how to build their own shelter and knock it over, I guess.
Yeah, there's something about it. You know, definitely.
Oh, thatch! I know. Hey, to top it off, I wanted to tell you about this new thing I've been working with, Thrinax radiata. That's the Florida thatch palm.
What the actual farm?
Yeah, tell us about the Florida thatch palm.
Yeah, because I was talking about thatch so much there. I want to talk about different parts of the world. You can look into the different ecosystem and find different plants that might make the best thatch. And down south in the semi-tropic realm, there's the Florida thatch palm. And Thrinax radiata, it's amazing. You can use the palms and layer them up just like a roof shingle and make a nice little dry place. But not only just to dry when you're down in there, it's nice to have a place where you can get out of the sun, feel a little bit cool, and then step back out into it when you need to.
Yeah, well, when I step back out into the sun down in Florida, I'm usually jumping into some water, swimming, keeping cool in that way. But sometimes it's nice to keep cool and keep yourself from getting cooked by the sun too much, you know, especially in the middle of the hottest part of the day.
Yeah, plus it's nice to just like sip on a little coconut juice or something, you know, a little coconut water, and relax and take care of yourself in that way.
Yeah, it sure is.
So another fun roof system I like to use is called a sod roof.
A sod roof?
Yeah, it's a sod roof.
What do you do with a sod roof?
Well, you take the sod roof, you peel up some grass layers, and you put it up on top of some boards that are laid out, or some sticks or logs, some kind of thing like that, and you put it up down there. And then when the rain comes, it sheds right off of it, and you can grow grass right on your roof.
Interesting.
Yep, that's how the Vikings did it. That's how many people have done it. Wherever there's sod growing and not any other kind of trees or anything like that, it's often used.
that makes sense. If you don't have that many trees or sticks or things like that, you could just create a home basically out of what you have. Some sod roofing would make the deal.
Yep, that's right. Hush, little puppy, I gotta tell you a bit more.
What do you want to tell me? What else do you want to tell me?
Well, I want to make sure everybody knows that it's important for people to know how to make their own shelter. Because you never know what you're going to have to shelter yourself from.
Yeah, I understand.
You might even have to shelter yourself from the things that are out there in the world. Like, what if, like, lava came down?
I don't know if we're going to get into that one.
Yeah, what if it's lava coming down everywhere and you just need to shelter yourself from it?
Yeah, well, I guess the stone roof would help a little bit, but wouldn't lava melt the stone roof?
Yeah, then the big bad wolf, he'd get right in there.
Yeah, he probably would. He might even come and try to eat me, even though I'm not a pig.
I don't know, you might be a pig sometimes.
Well, maybe sometimes when I'm really hungry, people call me a pig, but I don't really think of myself quite that much as a pig. I mean, look at me, I'm kind of skinny.
Yeah, but you still got some good meat on your bones. If I was a wolf, I might eat you.
Well, thanks, Dirk. I guess I would go good in some dipping sauce.
Yeah, you probably would, so you better make sure you keep yourself sheltered. And, there's other things we can talk about the shelter, you're not in the water, you want to make sure if you're in wetlands that you want to have your things stilted up. You want to put screens out so you don't get bugs coming in. Come on, kids, you got to know how to do all this stuff. By the time you're up a little bit, like, a little older, you're going to have to make your own house. I mean, you can't expect your mom and dad to shelter you for the rest of your life. So go tell them thank you for taking care of you and keeping a roof over your head, because without that roof over your head, every time it rains, you'd be in your bed and you'd be wet.
It's true. I've thought about that ever since I was a kid. There's been a couple times where it's nice to sleep outside with the open sky, look at the clouds and feel all that. Maybe sleep under a tree in the summer to get out of the shade. But yeah, it definitely is really nice and cozy to have a little nest to crawl into in the evening.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be that big of a shelter, because the outside world is so much fun. You can get in the rain bed and all these things, and you can play in the snow. You can go down into, like, harvest broccoli, and then you can bring it all back to your house. And you can just hang out in there and be all quiet and relax. And you can just cook some broccoli.
Yeah, that's something I've done before. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I've done it before too. And then you don't even have to eat anything else. You just have your broccoli, maybe some cheese.
Well, that's pretty cool, Dirk. I think we're going to have to wrap up here soon in this episode. Do you have any other things that you want to share with the kids about sheltering?
Well, just tell your parents thanks. I always think of that. And maybe next time we'll teach parents how to operate helicopters.
You want to teach the kids' parents how to operate helicopters?
Yeah, because, it's nice to have parents that know how to operate helicopters. So they can fly around if you're out in the forest and all you have is rotten sticks to build with. Maybe they could fly you in a few black locust logs from the field by the house. Or maybe they could even drop you off a safety package with some Band-Aids and some broccoli and maybe some noodles. I love when I get those little ramen packets and you're boiling water out in the forest over a rock, and you don't even have any noodles to put it in. Then all of a sudden a helicopter comes flying by, and look, there's Mommy and Daddy. One of them's throwing out some noodles, and they land right into your pot, and you're just fine. You got, your little shelter, everything's nice. Wow, I had so much fun on this show.
Thanks, Dirk. I really enjoyed having you.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go back to my little shack in the woods and make some broccoli now. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thanks, Dirk. Everybody say thanks to Dirk.
Ah, that's too much. Oh, thanks, guys. Ha! This is so much fun.
You like that?
Yeah, let's do it again.
Keep listening to this podcast. Explore the other episodes. Have fun. Stay tuned. There'll be more coming from the mother farming elf.
Make the farm up!
I think I'm gonna go take a nap now. Night night.